Everyone, and welcome to Scrap Design Principles. I'm your host today, Miss Brown, and I'm so excited for us to now take the skills that we are learning and apply theory to them so that we know that we are making the correct decisions, okay? So first of all, let's review what this document looks like. I'm going to get my zoom tool, I'm going to hold down my option key, and I'm going to back out, and you can see that I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 artboards total, okay? We're gonna be designing in this top row, and on this bottom row, we're gonna do a little bit of research, and I'm gonna show you how to do that in a second. So right now, you're gonna follow along with me, and you'll see that there is simplicity, contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity, scrap, right here, okay? So I'm going to use my zoom tool and I'm going to go to the simplicity artboard. I'm holding down the space key to get that hand in there, and I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to go to this simplicity artboard right here. I'm going to down toggle, and there is the invisible man, okay? So the first thing is simplicity. This is a little too crazy, okay? And it makes it very hard to see. So we're going to make this more simple. And what we're going to do, you can either do a generative fill or you can search for, let's do a London city scape. Okay, let's go to images. And I'm going to go to tools, size, large. Great. And I'm going to find something that is a little bit more simple than what we were looking at earlier with the crazy flowers. It looked absolutely nuts, so we're going to fix it. I actually like this one with Big Ben, so I'm going to clip it, and then I'm going to hit my right mouse button, and I'm going to hit it, and I'm going to say copy image. Great, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to hit Command V, and now you can see my cityscape is there. Command T to transform. And I'm going to resize it to fit my artboard. It is already looking better. I'm going to just do this so it fills, and boom, okay, there is the invisible man with the background that's a little bit more simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase this flower background, and I'm gonna call this background so I know what I'm working on. And then I'm also going to make the text just a little bit simpler so that I can read it. So I'm going to select all of it, and I'm going to go over here. You can see it had 3 different things, and since we're talking about simple, I'm just going to choose a real simple font, okay? Your choice, whatever you want it to be. I'm going to choose Futura Bold for this. Okay, and you could do the same thing, and since we're talking about simplicity, I'm also going to just choose one color. So I'm just going to choose one color for this, and here we go. Okay, great. And you know, I can also sample over here. I can make it this dark brown as well. Okay, great. And I'm going to resize it so that it fits a little bit better. And then I'm going to also just close that, and I'm going to adjust the leading. Okay, there we go. And I'm also going to select the invisible part, and I'm going to make it all capital as well. If you do not see this window that I'm working in, I want you to go to Windows and pull up Properties, and it should show up there. Okay, perfect. So now what I'm going to do so that I can see it just a little bit better is I'm going to put a contrasting stroke on it, and I'm going to make this, I can choose a lighter color right here. Great, I'm going to hit OK. I can hit outside, and I can do this, and now I can read it just a little bit better. Okay, we can make it a little bit larger. I can also just do it like right here. Great. The invisible man. I want to put a little bit more emphasis on invisible so I can change the tracking right here And I'm gonna just give me a little bit more space, which I like because then I can kind of hide it behind the hat a little bit. Okay, there is that, and I think the stroke is just a little too large now, so I'm gonna change the stroke to, okay, 13, great. And to simplify it even more, I'm gonna grab this up and I'm going to get rid of those lights because it's just like distracting a little bit. So I'm gonna grab my remove tool, make sure I'm on the correct background, and I'm gonna remove those lights. Okay, it's gonna think about it. Gonna do a little bit at a time here. Ooh, yeah, and I'm gonna remove that light. It's gonna think about it. And I'm gonna remove that light. Kind of turned out a little wonky right there, and that's okay. And I'm gonna remove that light. Just to once again, simplify it. And I'm gonna use my bracket keys. I'm gonna make it smaller and I'm gonna remove that light. Okay, great. So now I'm gonna turn on my text and you can see now that I can read that a lot easier, okay? So you can just remember to keep it simple so that it would work. If I wanna make it even more simple and more readable, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add one more layer underneath here. I'm going to hit Command A to select all of it. Whoops, I'm on the wrong one. Make sure I'm on the right layer, there we go. And I'm going to select all of it. Perfect, there it is. And once again, I'm going to get my eyedropper tool. I'm going to pick this really dark brown and I'm going to hit Option Delete. And you can see over here it's filled it in, and I'm just going to pull this and call it color. I'm going to pick up this background and I'm just going to pull this down because it's still just a little too busy for me, and it is even more legible. Okay, so here we have the Invisible Man, and he is looking really good. I'm going to change this T to a lowercase, just make me feel a little bit better. You know what, no, I don't like it. You know what I think I need to do? I just need to fix my tracking a little bit to give some space. Great, and I'm going to change the size down to 35. And I'm going to select those two lines and make the leading look similar. Okay, way easier to read, a lot more to stomach, using simplicity. Command D to deselect, Command S to save, and make sure that you save it in your digital media folder in the correct place. Okay, the next concept is contrast. I'm going to close this up. Okay, and as you can see, there's not really whites or black, so it just kind of blends in together. So what we're gonna do is hit Command L for levels, okay? And I'm gonna hit Auto, and you will see it will fix it a little bit. What I want you to do is take this black triangle here and bring it in there, and you can see I'm starting to get some darker darks, and bring this white one in here, and I have some lighter lights. And then this middle one kind of works with our midtones. I'm gonna move it a little bit this way, okay? So I'm gonna hit okay. So this is what it looked like before. This is what it looked like after. Okay, you can see it's a lot easier image to read because I had appropriate contrast, okay? So the Invisible Man, I have him here, and he's gray, and I wanna make this like an electric green. So I'm gonna pick this really bright green, and now this is popping out, okay? But I want it to pop out just a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is click on the layer called Invisible Man, and I'm gonna make a new layer in front of it, and I'm going to get my gradient tool, okay? Make sure black is your foreground color. If it's not, hit this button right here, and I'm gonna go up to here. I'm gonna go to Basics, And I will choose right here, this goes from clear to black. Make sure I have the radial one positioned, and I'm gonna click and drag so that my outside is also a little dark, okay? So you can see that pops out a little bit more. You can also then downplay this a little bit if you wanna see a little bit more of image. But putting that darker background on that electric green, you're able to see it a little bit more, okay? This is how contrast helped that design. Great. Now we're gonna go over to repetition. So I want you to think of the McDonald's designs. What's something they always use? The same colors, the same fonts, and they repeat it and repeat it over. So every time that you see red and gold and that font that is Arial bold, you know it's McDonald's, okay? There's also a famous pop artist called Andy Warhol, and he worked with repetition to create his artwork. So we're gonna do like an Andy Warhol as well. So I'm gonna close up the contrast, I'm gonna go to repetition, and I'm going to open up this artboard, and we're going to set up some guides, okay? So I'm gonna hit my space key, get my hand, and kind of get it within there, okay? Now, if you don't see numbers at the top and the side, I want you to hit Command R, okay, for ruler, and it will bring it up, okay? And then you can click and drag from that ruler, and I want you to come into the middle, which I know is 1050, okay? You can get close enough if you want, so 1051, that's close enough, you can do that. You can also go to View, and you can go to Guides, and you can say New Guide, God bless you, and hit 1050. Oh, I did it the wrong direction. I'm gonna do it one more time. Go to View, Guides, New Guide, and I'm gonna say vertical, 1050, and hit OK, and there it is. And I know it's exactly at 1050 because that's what I set it at. And I said 1050 because the amount of this is 2100 pixels, divided it by 2, okay? And I'm going to set up this one as well. Oh my goodness, it's 666. That's scary. It's actually 665. So I'm gonna get it close enough. And once again, if you want to set it exact, you know how to do it, the number will be 665, okay? So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to hit duplicate layer, and there's the copy, and I'm going to hold down my shift key to make sure it stays aligned, and I'm going to fill in that area, and then I'm going to hold both of these, right click, and hit duplicate layers, hit OK. And then I'm going to grab these bottom two by holding the shift key, and then I'm holding down the shift key to keep alignment, and now here they are repeated, okay? So what we can do is we're now going to type in, and we're going to keep a consistent font, and I'm going to type in Invisible Man. You cannot see it because it's underneath. I'm going to redo the layer. And I'm going to put Invisible Man. Since we're doing like a repeat thing, I'm going to make it a different font. I'm going to choose Adobe Clean, bold. Choose something just simple that you're going to repeat. And I'm going to hit duplicate layer. And here it goes over here. And I'm going to put it over his left shoulder. And then I'm going to select these two by holding the shift key, right click, hit duplicate layers. And then I'm going to hold down my shift key and my option key. Oh, I don't have to hold down my option key. I'm sorry, just my shift key. And now I know it's all lined up. Okay, the impact of this picture, because we have alignment and repetition, it really changes things. I've also provided you select colors to use with the Invisible Man. So you can go to your Invisible Man. I will pick, you can see this one's top, I'll put him on top here. And I can select the red. And then you can go up here and go to select and hit similar. And it will select all that red within there for you. Isn't that nice? And then I'm going to grab, let's see, my paint bucket. Where is it at? My paint bucket it's usually right here, but it's not. I move things around. Okay, so I'm going to put in paint bucket. Oh, a paint bucket. Okay. Paint bucket. Does it show you in here? It's not showing me in here, which is fine. So I will just grab my brush tool, okay? And I'm going to pick one of these colors. So I can choose pink, and you can see it comes up here as well. I'm going to use my bracket key to make it bigger. And I'm just going to paint on, okay, that pink. And then I'm going to hit Command D to deselect. And now I can hit the glasses in that area, and I can go to select similar. Oh boy, it gave me lots of things, which is fine. I just want it to stay within there, and I'm going to hit this. Okay. I just want it to stay within the glasses, so I'm just going to stay over my glasses a little bit, which is fine. Deselect, and I'm going to keep my black area in here, but I want you to change each of these things and keep within the Invisible Man palette. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we're doing is just limiting yourself. And you may say, Miss Brown, where did you get this palette? That is a great idea. So if you need ideas on what colors to pick, I would go to Adobe Color, just like this. And I went to Trends. Okay, and there's a whole bunch of different things. And I actually went to Illustration, and I was looking at some very fun different ones. And I just picked them. I actually picked this, and I picked the palette from this to help me choose what colors I want. So instead of just willy-nilly picking whatever colors, I limited my palette with repetitive colors to help bring my attention to here. So I want you to color in the hat and the glasses of all of them with different colors, different combinations, using these 5 different ones. If you don't know where to find it, look at the swatches. And go up to Window and go to Swatches, and you can pull it up that way and toggle the one that says Invisible Man. That's the one that I created for you, okay? So go ahead and push pause, finish it. Then when you're done, let's go to alignment, okay? So this is a book cover of The Invisible Man, and as you can see, it's really hard to read. And one of the things that we're gonna do to help it make it more legible is we're going to make alignment. Okay, so I'm going to close this up. Don't forget to Command Save, and I'm going to go to alignment. I'm going to toggle down. Okay, and we're going to line all these up. I'm going to start out by getting this rectangle 3, getting my move tool, and I'm going to move it to the edge of that blue. Okay, right there. And you can see it goes over that. That is just fine. We're going to leave it alone. Then you can see the title, The Invisible Man. Since this is the book cover, I'm going to bring it to the top, and it's okay that it spills over a little bit. I love to like break lines, or they call it like the fourth wall, with just like one aspect. It's kind of fun. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to get is when a mysterious right here, this one, and I'm going to drag it down, and I'm going to keep it in alignment, okay, with the other thing. So I have this black, so I'm going to keep kind of in alignment like that, and then you can see a classic tail, okay, and I'm going to just kind of place it there. We're going to make it better. Don't worry. And then we see H.G. Wells. And I'm going to actually line it up kind of with that red right there. So that's fine. Okay. So as you can see, I'm going to move this up here. I want to put the, H.G. Wells. Nope. I'm going to pick the other one, a classic tale. So I want this to fit within there. So what I'm going to do is I like the size of what it's going to be. So I'm going to grab my text tool, double click it, and I'm going to hit Command X. When I hit Command X, it copies it and deletes it all at the same time, and I'm going to get rid of that layer. I'm now going to get my text tool, and I'm going to click here again, and I'm going to hit Command V. Okay, whoops, nope, that's not what I'm going to do. Back up. I'm going to get my text tool, and I'm going to click and drag, because I'm going to show it where I want the alignment to be, and now I hit Command V, and there I can see where it is, okay? I can see that it needs, let's see, where's that one? Okay. So I can see that I still have text here, because when I grab the text tool, I'll see the plus sign. If you don't see the plus sign, then you dragged it out fine. That's great. If you don't see it looking like this, make sure you grab the text tool, okay? And I'm going to center align this so it goes with everything else. So I'm going to bring it into here, and I'm going to make it actually just a little bit larger so it goes in a little bit there. A classic tale and the cost, a classic tale of science obsession and the cost of power. Woohoo! Doesn't that sound fun? Then where it says a mysterious, I want to put it above the coat so that it is easier to read. And I'm going to kind of align it at the bottom here. And I'm going to resize it. If you want to redraw it like I did before, that is completely fine. And since this is center justified with the text, I'm going to grab my text tool, and I'm also going to make this as well. Perfect. Okay, so it went from being like crazy ineligible to being able to read it. Okay, so now we're able to read we can tell what is the title, we can tell who the author is, and we can also see what the kind of the story is about. I'm actually going to select this, and as the designer, I'm going to decide to make that just a little bit smaller so it doesn't quite have as much competition. I'm also going to grab where it says H.G. Wells, and I can hold down my command key, and I have both of them selected, and now I can align them with the tools up here. Okay, so now I know those two elements are aligned, and it just helps the reader help organize the information so that you can see things a little bit better with alignment. Okay, great. Command S to save. Okay, proximity means you put things together so that you can so that it will make sense. So what we're going to do is with this movie poster is I'm going to close this up. I'm going to hit Command S, and I'm going to go to proximity and toggle it down. And I'm going to go to the Invisible Man here, and I'm going to make it as big as possible because I definitely want, and we're going to put all the information that people are going to want for this. I hit return, and the color comes back, don't worry. And then it says you can't escape what you can't see. I'm actually going to kind of center it right here so you know that's associated with the table, or with the title, excuse me. And then you can see I have tickets, I have movie information, and then I have like where this is going to be. So I'm going to split it up that way, okay? So the very first thing I want to know is the where. Whoops, I'm gonna go to October 10th over here. Select it, I'm gonna bring it. Okay, great. I'm gonna know where do I get the tickets, and I'm gonna place it over here. Great. And then I'm gonna have the movie information right here. Great. And so now what I can do is select all three, and you can see then I have alignment things. I'm going to make sure that they are all aligned this way. And then I can kind of let's see, tickets. Okay, and I'm going to kind of eye it and move it in between. Okay. All right, so now with proximity, we can see we have our image down here, and then we're keeping all the information that we want our audience to know. Upper left being the most important, and then working right. If you saw how we had it earlier, it was hard to read it because the information we need to read together was in every single direction, okay? So proximity helps our audience read what we're trying to do. I'm gonna hit Command S to save this. And now I'm going to go to this bottom row, and I'm going to go to the very first one, to simplicity, and think about how we fix that design, correct? And I want you to go to, let's grab this, and we're going to go to dribble. And you'll notice it has 3 L's at the top. And what I want you to do is to search for some simple design that you think is a good example of how it could be. Okay? It's like, oh yeah, this is simple and it's easy to read because of its simplicity. Okay? For instance, here's a portrait of a woman made of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shapes. Okay? I automatically knew it had female energy. She has blonde hair. We got all this information from something very simple. So I'm going to click it, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to hit copy image. I'm going to go back. I'm going to hit proximity, and I'm going to go to simplicity find, okay, because this is what I found. See where it says student work? Great. And I'm going to hit V. Okay, and I'm going to cover that as much as possible. Okay, do not change the proportions. So there's your sample, and then simplicity, you're going to write why this is a good example of simple design. And I can say this is a good example of simple design because the artist used only 6 shapes, to create a woman for a logo, okay? I want you to put at least one sentence there of why this is a good example of simple design, okay? Now, if you're like, I'm not a very good speller, I get it, I really do. What I want you to do is you can go to edit before you're done and check spelling, and it will check spelling on everything. All right, and then we're gonna hit okay. Oh, it's locked. Okay, so guess what I can do? Oh, well, it's just saying it can't do that. So we're gonna put edit, and we're gonna say check spelling. Okay, and then we're gonna hit skip all. And it's showing me some different things. We can hit ignore, ignore all. Ooh, I don't know where that is. I think maybe I had sci-fi wrong somewhere, but you can check. Ignore all, ignore all. And I'm looking here. Did it show you cinematography? No, that was somewhere else. Oh, I misspelled repetition. Change all, make sure that I do that. That's a hard word to spell, but it looked like things were in there were spelled correctly. So that's where you can do that, okay? So now you're gonna go over to the next one, go to contrast, hit Command Save, 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 go back to Dribbble, and you can find contrast. So you can just look, like this isn't a good example, you can just visually look, but you can also, let's just see what happens if we put in contrast. What are things that can contrast? Color, right? We can contrast are really simple against really complicated. Fonts, really, so you can see this one's very straightforward. This one, there's lots of things in here that contrast. So you can actually put in things and they'll probably give you an example, okay? So I can also put this. This is contrasting. If I put it in, a reason why it would be a good example of contrast is it has a hot green against a very dark black. When you put the letters on the hot green, it's very easy to read. This would be a good example, okay? So you're gonna finish that until it is all the way across, okay? And I'm gonna hit Command Save As so I make sure. Scrap Invisible Man, there he is. Okay. And now I'm gonna go to my digital media. Okay, Photoshop, Scrap Invisible Man, there he is in all his glory. Okay, I'm going to make sure when I turn this in, I right click and I say share with Google Drive. I'm gonna make sure that I change this to Columbia Public Schools. You're going to hit copy link, and that's what you're going to turn into Schoology because these files are going to be really big, okay? So good luck on making good strategic design to help your artwork be understood by your audience. I'm proud of you. Good luck.